Howdy mates, good morning, how are we all doing? It is Sunday, September 4th, 2022. I had to make sure I had my dates right. So this is essentially my first video for the month of September. So, to a new month. So, where I'm at right now is actually closer to downtown Fort Myers. I've been by this area, but I've never actually had a chance to do a self-guided tour through here. So where I'm at right now is known as the Edison and Ford Winter Estates. And this whole place is a bit of a vibe. So, you know, just right over here, that was behind me, this is known as the Seminole Lodge. This was actually the lodge that Thomas Edison lived in. You know, this right here was the main house, and then to the right was the guest house. So, literally, it's like a mother-in-law suite, but on steroids. Literally, a guest has their own house. Like, what? So, we go back in time, you know, around 1885. So it's actually shortly after the city of Punta Gorda formed, which is just to the north of here. So, you figure during this time, Thomas Edison was practically in his peak, so to speak. Bit of a rhyme there. So, you know, during this time, he was recognized as an inventor, an innovator, an entrepreneur, and even a, for lack of a better term, a horticulturist. So, what I mean by horticulturalist is he worked with plants. So another way you could say it is botany. But he didn't really go to school for it. He kind of did a lot of his studies on his own or with any other scholars. So that being said, him and his wife, Mina, they came down here to visit, and, you know, they're considered to be some of the original snowbirds. And they came down here for a visit, and they actually found a lot of appeal down here. Just because it was something new for them, and for another, it was warmer away from New Jersey during the winters. So, he found this particular property that was for sale, and he decided to purchase it. I'll be sure to clarify what the cost was in the video description, because I don't quite know right now, at the moment. So, in the next couple of years, Thomas Edison had supplies coming from the north that were shipped down here. And they were brought over simply by steamboats at the time. Because railroads didn't quite have an introduction yet down here. Even though railroads already were a thing. So, you gotta think, the material that was used to build that home didn't even come from Florida. That's just, it's crazy to me. But he certainly had the money to do it. And then, I'm probably gonna do another separate video for later on. But if you go down just a little further, you see that gray building? That is the Mango Estate. Because, here's the thing, it wasn't just Thomas Edison who lived on this particular property. Another innovative individual by the name of Henry Ford also stayed down here. And he was actually really good friends with Thomas Edison. So, pretty much throughout both of their lives, or the remaining of their lives, they stayed down here. Now, They probably just stayed for part of the year and then went back up north. But either way, this is essentially where they lived. And the Seminole Lodge that you do see behind me, you know, Thomas Edison passed away in the 1940s. And so Mina, that was Thomas Edison's wife, she actually decided to donate the property to the city of Fort Myers. That way then, this place could be preserved and kept as a park, more or less. But yeah, so this property borders just along the Caloosahatchee River, which will eventually feed into the Charlotte Harbor. Well, at least the southern tip of it, but it will mostly go into the Estero Bay and then eventually the Gulf. But it's the Caloosahatchee that is in direct connection to Lake Okeechobee. And as a matter of fact, stay tuned about Lake Okeechobee. I'm going to have something special planned for it in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's quite neat. But you figure, you know, during his visits down here, Thomas Edison was a prominent fisher. You know, he went after tarpon, snook, bass, anything you can think of, he went after it. And actually this was, at one point, a pier that Thomas Edison built. And it actually extended 1,500 feet out into the water. So, at one time, there used to actually be a pavilion that was part of this pier. Just imagine, though, for a moment, coming back here in the late 1800s. It sure as heck didn't look like the way it does now. You know, it was a lot more primitive and a bit calmer. Not as much boat traffic. I mean, there were some, but not as much. It's crazy. It's crazy to think, like, how much can truly change in a matter of just over a century. You know? Just in general, within the past 200 years is when the planet has seen the most change. You know, especially in terms of the climate and even, you know, development. It's just, it's a bit mind-boggling to think about. And it puts it into perspective, too. Like, 200 years, you know, in the grand scheme of time that the Earth has existed, 200 years is not a lot. That's, you know, that's only a little tiny speck compared to the millions and billions of years that the Earth has existed. It's crazy to think about. So, alright, you guys, hope you enjoyed this little snippet. It's a really cool spot. So, for adults, usually it's about $25. And basically, you can stay here from 9 a.m. to 5:30. So, you pretty much have all day. So, alright, you guys, take care. Enjoy your Sunday, and Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks. See ya. Have a great day, you guys.